Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. And don't forget, multi-platinum. I'm multi. First name multi, last name platinum. Multi-platinum. And any multi-platinum musical producer, what you're supposed to do is be like me. Hold it over everybody and use it against people and make yourself seem like you're famous. Because you with multi-platinum, okay? That's what you do. Anyway, so guys, I'm about to fuck y'all guys' heads up right now, man. When I tell you I'm about to mess y'all heads up right now, I told you. So all you got to do is do your research, and you will humble yourself, and you will find out that it's all games that these guys play. All these companies are playing games. They're playing marketing games. They're playing strategic games on how to keep the customer and keep customers coming back and buying and buying and buying again. It's all a game. If they sell you the best product off the bat, you'll never come back and buy another piece of hardware again. But you'll have idiots, dumb people who literally will take whatever any company says and run with it. Oh, they give us the most powerful machine in the world. The most powerful MPC ever created. Marketing terms, right? And now, everybody's running with that. Even the people who are not content creators, when they answer my questions in the videos, they say, oh, because it has more processing power, it has more RAM. I've been doing my research, guys. I want to tell you something, man. I honestly believe my Windows computer in like 1995 probably had more specs, better specs than that MPC. I'm not even lying to you. Guys, the MPC Live, every last one of them they're MIDI controllers, man. Some of them have good chips and good ins and outs, good converters. Some of them are just digital workflow. They have yet to make an all-inclusive, complete, full-body MPC for you guys. But you'll sit there and say it has the most powerful, this and that. Meanwhile, it doesn't have great converters. It doesn't sound warm. It don't hit hard. It don't really have that saturation, but it has workflow. But it has more processing power, so you can put more plugins and more audio tracks. Make it make sense, guys. You could already do that in the computer. You don't. First of all, if you know music, you don't even need 30-something plugins in one project. Why do you need so many plugins? What are you doing? You need that many plugins to work with music? Something's wrong with you, man. Anyway, let's go. So, I did a search. Was it a choice to not put 8-core processing in MPC? Basically, I've been doing my research, and 8-core processing has been a standard in computers for a long time now, guys. Very, very long time. And the processing power for computers is built different from, let's say, a MIDI device that wants to like have you, walk around and do music spontaneously. It's literally made just for music, right? So it is made differently so that, the computer, that's why the computer has fans and it has the processing power is way better. It controls everything, movies, graphics, video editing, everything, music, everything on 8 cores. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All you had to do is get yourself a computer, man. You can do everything with that. So now this one, like the MPCs are like made for like low heat, distribution, maybe battery operated, and primarily work with just music, right? So it's basically putting you in a box, putting you in a plastic box, to be quite frankly, with maybe a metal bottom and a metal back because of like how the power is structured inside of the box. So you need to put those type of metals. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Don't quote me. But you can do your own research and find out yourself. So let's read this. Yes. The absence of an 8-core processor in older MPC models was a conscious design choice. They did it on purpose. But it has since been reversed. For years, MPC devices use less powerful quad-core processors in favor of keeping costs down and maintaining the standalone workflow that prioritized the classic sampling and sequencing features. I told you guys, they could have been in 2017 when they came out with the MPC Live Mark I. They could have gave you an 8-core processor then. But if they would have did that then they would have by 2025 they would have had to give you way more. You understand what I'm saying? They kept it down as a design choice. On here it's saying because of cost. But you have to think about it. At what cost? They're going to trick you to be like the consumer's cost. It's not the consumer's cost. Consumers are out there paying $5,000 for brand new computers. Mac computers. I paid like $5,000 for my computer I got in my house right now. You know what I'm saying? Probably a little bit more, maybe close to $6,000. All the stuff, all the specs that's in there. You're going to pay because you want the processing power. So is it at the cost of the consumer or is it at the cost of the actual company? Because if they keep the cost down, give you a little bit, then they're going to say, oh, we came up with a new model and it gives you a little bit more. And now you go out and buy the new model. It's the ticky-tacky. Guys, why you think a store, a deli, will have like 25-cent candy when they could charge $50 for the candy? Because you're going to go in there and buy it anyway because, you know what I'm saying, you want a piece of candy. But they charge 20 cents because it's the long game. They want you to keep coming back and buying and buying and buying. Same thing with a tech company, man. They need you to come back, keep buying a new phone, buying this, buying that. They been had this technology and they been could have put it in these little boxes, man. But see, they know that you guys are slow, stupid, dumb, don't even use your own brain. And that's why they can keep getting you year after year. Oh, retro color. Oh, the retro color got a speaker on it. It's got to be better than the other one when it's the exact same thing. So, I continue on. However, as of October 2025, Akai has released the MPC Live Mark III with an 8-core processor, a direct response to customer demand for more processing power. But they could have gave it to you already. They know if they know how to keep the heat down, the heat low in 2025, that technology has already been in existence, man. They could have did that in 2017 when they wanted to change the model then. But no, they had to sell you the MPC Keys 37 and the 61 and the One Plus, the MPC One Plus and the Live 2 and the Live 2 Retro and the X and the XSE and so forth and so on. Then the what's these other ones? The Force and all this stuff. And guys, so the processing power has been there. It's been in existence. It's been a staple for 8-core processing for a long time, guys. A long time. So let's go. So cost, workflow, resource management. What else? Anything in here? Why I can't change direction? Plugins. I already told you about the. If you put in 30 plugins on your music, you don't know music production. I'm gonna just tell you right now, you don't need all those plugins. You don't need all. First of all, you don't need all that processing power. And another thing is, if you're gonna have all that processing power when it comes to 8 cores now, and then on top of that, more RAM, right? I think more RAM and a bigger hard drive, right? I laughed at that hard drive, 128 gigs. You could go on Amazon right now and pay like $10 for a flash drive that's like 128 gigs, man. You could go on Newegg. You could go on Best Buy. You could go to Walmart. You could go to Target. You could literally go to Temu. What is it? You go to so many websites. You could pay $20 and get 128 gigabyte flash drive and just save all your stuff on there, man. Like, I mean, really? They couldn't even give you a terabyte. They couldn't even give you M.2 terabyte, something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to the heat and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying. People are going out right now buying Samsung 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, and putting it up under the the MPC. What, they could just give that to you, which costs what, $200, $300. They couldn't put that. You paying $1,600. You know what I'm saying? You're getting an 8-core processor. So is that 8-core processor as strong as the computer's 8-core processor? Because if it's not, then an 8-core processor doesn't cost more than $400. Because you could get a AMD processor, right? Or you get Intel processors for like $400, maybe less, $300, $200. Depends, right? 8 cores. I mean, way more cores, probably for like $400 less. I'm not too sure on the math, but think about it. So what are you really paying for when you could get a 8-core processor for cheap? You get the hard drive space for cheap, and the RAM. And RAM sticks come a dime a dozen, man. RAM is not. Come on, guys. We know about RAM. RAM's easy. I got 64 gigs of RAM in my computer. It didn't even cost me that much. So what do you? If you're building a computer, right? If you go and build a computer, you could put all the parts together, put the same parts that's in the MPC in a computer, and see how much that costs. And the computer's processing power is way more powerful than the process. What is it? I think it's RAM. There's some type of RAM that they put into the processing power. I can't remember on the MPC, which is not as strong as the computers. So if it's not as strong as the computers, how much does that really cost? Does it cost $400 or does it cost $200? You got to put it into perspective, guys. You know what I'm saying? So let's go here. All right. So 8-core processing in the MPC. While both an MPC and a computer can have an 8-core processor, a computer's processor is significantly more powerful due to different design priorities regarding thermal design, power consumption, and software ecosystem. An MPC's processor is highly optimized for specific real-time music making functions, while a computer's processor is built for general purpose demanding multitasking, which means it could do way more, okay? And it's stronger and it's powerful. That's why did you put your MPC in a controller mode, and it next you know it gets super boosted. It's like in the Fast and Furious with the nitrous gas, whatever, however you call it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? The computer will do way more than the MPC can. That's why it's a controller. It's a MIDI controller, guys. That's why when you put it in the controller mode, it just turns into the controller that it really is. And they could have gave you that processing that's in there right now, but they chose to keep it away from you. And we're still not even talking about the converters and the sound. We're dealing with music, guys. These guys want you to talk about workflow and not about sound. Nobody wants to talk about sound when it comes to music. So if you don't want to talk about the sound of these devices, so what are you talking about then? You're talking about a MIDI controller that just functions with good coding for its workflow, for its ecosystem, right? So it does what it's supposed to do for its ecosystem in that box, which is still limited because the processing power can't do multitasking. You can't do video editing and stuff in there. So it still is limited to what it can't do under the restraints of like heat and not having fans and all this stuff in there. We get that, right? So it's a MIDI controller, guys. It's a MIDI controller with coding inside of it now that actually has you do great functions when it comes to music production quicker on the go, on the run, I guess, than a computer. But if you get a laptop and you got a MIDI controller, it's pretty much the same goddamn thing. Take your MIDI controller with all the bells and whistles and the pads and all that stuff that's similar to an MPC and just go about your business and go make your beats with FL Studios, Logic, Studio One, all the software, thousands and billions of softwares that are out there now. So, processing type, the MPC. The 8-core processor in a mobile class chip like an ARM Cortex chosen for its efficiency and ability to run in a low-power, fanless enclosure. But a computer is going to give you all the power you need and it's probably going to cost the same or even less than an MPC along with the MIDI controller. If you get one cheap. A modern 8-core computer processor, Intel Core i7 AMD Ryzen 7 is a high-performance desktop or laptop chip with higher clock speeds and greater overall processing power. Come on, man. And you could go read this yourself. The thermal design priority, software and operating system, software ecosystem. You can read all that yourself, guys. Go check it out. So choose the MPC4. Focus, distraction-free workflow. What? I don't know. What? You could be distraction-free in the DAW too, man. Tactile and immediate control. Yeah, right. So it's immediate control. But if you get a MIDI controller, it's the same thing. Just working it in a DAW. Right? Choose a computer for maximum power and flexibility. Maximum power and flexibility. Expanded software tools, comprehensive production, right? And integrated with other gear. You can integrate the MPC with other gear too. You know, so we're not gonna knock that. But guys, the overall thing is this, man. You literally are talking about music, but nobody's talking about sound. So, what does the processing power in the MPC Live Mark III now have to do with the sound? It doesn't have great converters or anything in there that will convert the sound that you put in to have more of this warm, thick, full, hard-hitting characteristic. So if it doesn't have that going in and out when you're converting the sound going through this device, how does it have more power for your sound? Do you guys understand what I'm saying now? It might have more power for your workflow, but you don't need that power for the workflow if you understand how to do music. If you put in 30 goddamn plugins on one sound or one program or whatever is something different than MPC3 now, right? Different software. Why are you putting that many plugins on a sound? What are you trying to do to the sound, man? You trying to mix and mangle that thing to death? This is we're just talking about audio. The songwriting is simple. You guys are not even songwriting. You're doing all the craziest things in the world to make a beat. That's your problem. You don't understand music. You don't understand audio. You don't understand sound. You don't know the science, the logistics behind it. You're just doing just what you think you should be doing. Watching content creators, YouTubers, influencers, and that's what you think you're supposed to be doing so you can go make money. And you thinking you understand, but you literally don't understand. That's your problem. That's what you guys are falling victim to. You don't understand music production. I could literally make a song with a dry piano tone, with every part of the song, a song without one plugin being implemented onto that thing, without no reverb, no nothing. And then when I want to go mix, then I could put the stuff on there. But I'm not going to put 30 plugins. I'm going to do specific, guys, hear me, effects that only help with the sound designing of the record. You guys should just put a piano, play a piano patch, and automatically throw a delay, a reverb, and a chorusing effect on that piano. Automatically. You just do it just to do it. I've watched and seen you guys do it, man. You don't even have any thought process on why you even doing it. How much reverb you should put on. Maybe record the reverb in on its own separate track so you don't have to use that plugin. You could disable that plugin. You guys don't even think on that level because you don't understand music. That is all you guys' biggest problem. And if you need the processing power, why don't you get real processing power in the form of a computer? Think, man. Stop. You guys are so slow. Oh, I don't want to use a computer. Oh, I want to move around freely. Oh, you can't even write a fucking song. Where you going with your non-songwriting ass? Where the fuck you going? To the park to do a video so you get YouTube views? Come on. Make it make sense. Anyway, this is your boy 005 Dynasty. I'm going to get up out of here. Don't forget to Google me and start doing your research, guys. They've been had the capability for 8-core processing. It was a design choice to keep costs down so they could keep costs down, but also keep selling more and more product to you guys so they could keep their company afloat. If they was to give you right now a 16 core processor and let's say 100 and something gigabytes of RAM and 4 terabyte hard drive in a box, and they could keep the fans low and all stuff, it doesn't overheat, and they could do all this crazy stuff with it, and converters, and I'm talking about the warmest, the silkiest, I mean the capacitors. I'm talking about this thing is so chunky, like the warmest, it just hit hard. You know what I'm saying? The transients hit, the warmth hit. You don't need to go through no other analog piece of gear to make it warm and fat. If they do that, they'll go out of business by selling just that one product for like $5,000. They've capitalized off of you guys buying $1,600 here, $1,600 here, $1,600 here, and another one $1,600. They went over that $5,000 now. Now they're gaining, they're earning, they're gaining. For how many people? Hundreds of thousands of people that keep buying this gear over and over and over again. Make it make sense. Don't get mad at 005 Dynasty because I'm making sense and you want to fight the logic, because in your brain, the company is always right. In your brain, the company is always right. They're never wrong. They're never trying to trick you. They're always right. The content creator is always right. This guy, man, this guy, 005 Dynasty. I don't like him. I don't like 005 Dynasty. I don't like him. I mean to tell you guys right now, man. This guy is, oh my God. So, let me tell you first off, my name. So, my name is, multi-platinum. First name, multi, last name, platinum. And, this guy right here, I'm telling you, this guy right here, 005 Dynasty, I don't like him because he always makes sense. And he makes all of us multi-platinum producers look stupid, real stupid. And the companies too. You know what I'm saying? And, but don't forget, I'm multi-platinum. Multi-platinum. I'm multi-platinum. Multi-platinum. I'm multi-platinum. Multi-platinum. Yeah, I'm multi-platinum. So whatever he says don't matter because I'm better than him because I'm multi-platinum. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is your boy 005 Dynasty. And don't forget to Google me.